Hello and welcome to this latest edition of Reporters on France 24. It's the show where we bring you the best reports from our journalists around the world. Now, Las Vegas in Nevada is a city that's synonymous with glitz, glamour, fun and success. But for the last 5 years, its residents have lived a starkly different reality. The city has the highest unemployment in the United States. With home evictions running into the tens of thousands, several hundred have moved their lives and possessions underground. Others are scraping by on loans and even selling their blood to make ends meet. France 24's Yves Irvine and Cyril Vanier peered into the shadows of the money palaces, meeting people for whom the American dream has gone badly wrong. Yves will be telling us a little more after her report.
Sergeant Scott McWilliams is a busy man. He's got 10 people to evict this morning.
Go for it. Show us your skills, amigo.
A bailiff in a poor neighborhood of Las Vegas, McWilliams has seen the city go from boom to bust.
Hello, constable.
The tenants of this apartment have already cleared out. A quick check to make sure that all is in order. Then windows and doors are sealed.
That's the nice refrigerator smell.
Within 3 minutes, the locks are changed. The apartment is condemned. It will soon be back on the market.
It's all around us. There's apartments down there I've done. There's houses I've down here that I've done. This building with the red roof, that building right there, 3013, I've done that one.
Last year, McWilliams evicted almost 7,000 households. He is paid by the piece, $10 per eviction, $7 for putting up warning notices. Behind every door, a similar story. Jobs lost, piles of bills, and unpaid rent.
Right now, I just need you to grab quick things.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been out looking for a job every day this week. They gave me the notice. I can't find work.
So what now?
I think I'm going to be living in my car. What can I say? This is what I used to have. I got nothing now.
After just 3 months of unemployment, this man is on the streets.
I don't know. Enough of that, okay.
Barely is he out, and McWilliams is already at the next door.
Hello. You know what's going on today?
I'm moving today.
Christina is a hairdresser. She spends 12 hours a day in the salon, but with fewer clients, she's no longer able to pay for her 2-bedroom apartment.
No, but you got to take the cat with you, ma'am. I can't leave any animals in here. Right.
When things were good, Christina was earning up to $1,000 a week. She now rarely makes even half of that.
Yeah, your next
At 52 years of age, she's evicted for the first time.
No, I can't.
It's a typical morning in Las Vegas. For decades, Las Vegas was seen as the capital of the American dream, attracting thousands who flooded in to make their fortunes. Casinos, restaurants and towering hotels sprung up overnight. It was one of the fastest growing cities in the world, and the biggest employer was Dick Rizzo. Rizzo runs the construction company that pretty much built this city.
Starting from Mandarin here, we built everything you see as you go across through to the Cosmopolitan. We probably employed at our peak over 13,000 people building this what you see here on the left side of the strip.
And now?
And now we're lucky if we have over 1,000. So a significant drop.
Nationwide recession meant a drop in visitors and less spending. The economy went to the dumps. With building at a standstill, the skeletons of abandoned projects haunt the skyline, the bones of a 3,000-room hotel, and behind it, a casino that never opened its doors. Today, there are 2 construction sites in operation. The foundations of hope, but Rizzo thinks it will take at least another 3 years for the economy to really build up again.
It's a far cry from where it was 4 years ago when we were building probably 10 times as much volume. But unfortunately, the market has slowed down to a point where we're very grateful that we at least have this to deal with.
Since 2007, unemployment has tripled in the state of Nevada, touching almost 12%. It's the highest in the nation. Las Vegas is now the crisis capital. At the Texas casino today, it's a job fair that attracts punters. Hundreds of seekers, but there are only a handful of companies with work to offer.
I'm willing to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I told her, I'll clean toilets. You know what I'm saying? As long as there's a paycheck coming my way, I'm good.
I've been applying from any type of source that I could think of and sending emails all day and night.
As far as the job fair, it's not working, but I still come because I figure sooner or later, maybe it will.
Teresa has been praying for a year now, but so far her prayers have gone unanswered. She is lucky enough to live rent-free, staying at her parents' home in the north of the city. It's here she spends most of her time scanning the net in search of work.
I've got several job leads where I filled out their application and followed through, but I haven't got the come in for an interview part yet.
Determined to maintain a minimum of independence, Teresa has now started to sell her blood for money.
That's how I keep my internet on, by donating. I keep gassing my car by donating. Yeah. On Tuesdays, it's worth $22. On Friday, it's worth $35.
While the downturn began just before the last presidential polls, it's since Obama took office that Nevada reached historically high unemployment. Little wonder that the economy is the main issue for Teresa and indeed most voters.
When I cast my ballot, I'm voting for jobs and prosperity. Bottom line.
If Mitt Romney has to start all over again, then where's the economy going to go?
It's not Obama's fault that we're dealing with what we're dealing with. That was already in effect. You see what I'm saying? It didn't take overnight to get that way. It's not going to take overnight to fix it.
But a lot of people can't wait for any presidential change. They need a quick fix. Pawn shops have become an increasingly popular poor man's bank.
So this is what I can do. On a loan, I can go $400 on this, $200 on this. It's only $600.
People bring in valuable objects which they leave as security in exchange for a cash loan. A loan they hope to repay in time, because if not, their items can be sold off. Josh is a musician who is handing in his instruments in order to drum up some vital funds.
Yeah, I'm going to get you $1,000 on both of these. Cool. And then the Taylor was like $7. Yeah, $7.
Until recently, Josh earned a good living, supplementing his music by working as a chef. But the restaurant closed, and he is now struggling to meet his mortgage repayments.
Here you go, boss. I ain't in charge.
What's more, he's gotten ill, meaning massive health bills. Josh fears that before long,
I'm going to fall behind, and I probably will lose my car first. Then I'll probably lose my house probably within the next 6 months if I don't keep up on my payments. This is just something to get me until next month, and then next month hopefully I'll find something better to do.
Finding only odd jobs, over the last 3 years, Josh has had to adapt, and like hundreds across Las Vegas, he's been forced to downsize as much as possible. That's what Christina has done. Days after her eviction, she's found a new place, over $100 a month cheaper, but it's much smaller.
Small space, more little kitchen. The kitchen is very small. Thank God I got a lot of sense of humor, okay, because otherwise, God, I was like, and the bedroom is enough for one people only.
Christina voted for Obama in 2008, but this year she's backing Mitt Romney, convinced he's the businessman that will get the economy going.
I think he understands better the situation, like the country needs jobs for people. Obama, he just saying a lot of things like no sense.
Christina moved to Las Vegas for a better life. But even though times have gotten tough, she remains positive.
I'm looking forward to do better, at least. Because I know some other people, they ended on the street. They can afford a house or anything. That's sad.
Indeed, beneath the neon, thousands are sleeping rough. Hundreds are hiding out in a system of tunnels that crisscross the city. Like Cindy, who lives here along with her husband Rick.
Come on in. There's a bridge if you want to walk across the bridge, or the water's clean. It comes from the gateway up there at the top of the tunnels. If it rains, it'll get about this deep.
When it rains, water can fill her home, which is essentially a storm drain, by more than 12 inches a minute.
This is our kitchen area, but right now it's flooded.
But still, Cindy is trying as best she can to create some semblance of home comfort, separating the tunnel into spaces and rooms.
And this is our bedroom. Yeah, it's not much, but it's home for now. This is what we've got. Hi, baby.
This couple has been living here for over a year and a half. Rick sometimes finds a bit of work as a freelance mechanic, but nothing stable.
We're going to come back up again. Can't go much farther down than the tunnel. There's a couple of jobs that are starting to turn around. Just a little bit.
I don't know. It's possible, but it's not easy anymore. But that just means I gotta work harder. Yeah, that is, yeah, better than this.
Rick and Cindy are hoping to get back above water before long, but know that economic recovery will be slow and uncertain. The recession that hit the US led to an increase in poverty, unemployment and homelessness, and could see those in the White House evicted too.
So that report there by France 24's own Eve Irvine, who's here in the studio with me. Hi there, Eve.
Hi.
Now, quite shocking images throughout that report, and at the end we're seeing those people living underground in tunnels, hundreds of them. Why Las Vegas? Why in particular? Why is this city so badly hit?
Well, Las Vegas had become somewhat of a symbol of the American dream. A lot of people from other states, flooded in there because they saw this as the place of making their money. If you like, it also, the economy was built to a large extent around the casinos, the hotel industry, businessmen coming in from conventions. So when the nationwide or even worldwide recession hit, well, it had a massive effect on these industries. People came less, or if they did come to Las Vegas, they spent less. So the domino effect was very fast, across the vast majority of people living in Las Vegas. There was also, like other states, a major building bubble burst. We saw there, a lot of white elephants now around the city. People just were buying so much on credit. We did hear stories of even, people with fairly precarious jobs, odd-time dancers on the Strip that had bought up to 8 apartments on credit.
Wow. Slightly overreaching the debt there. But the people who we saw being evicted in your report, they actually seemed quite resigned to what was happening to them, not fighting eviction, which surprised me.
Well, the people there at the start of the report that are getting evicted, they have seen it coming, quite rapidly, it has to be admitted, but they get their 5-day warning, they get their 24-hour warning. So I think when the sergeant actually knocks on the door, they basically feel, well, this is it. Now, the sergeant we saw in the report did evict 7,000 last year. 36,000 was the total for the Las Vegas area, people kicked out of their homes. Resilient, I would have said, more than giving up. It's like they see that they have hit possibly rock bottom, but still the overall feeling was that, they can only go up from here. And, as you saw, I think a lot of people kept this hope.
Well, yeah, 36,000 evictions last year. That is the population of some large villages and towns. How is it possible then that this city hasn't entirely lost its hope. That's actually quite surprising for somebody watching your report, I think.
Indeed, and it definitely was something that marked both myself and my colleague Cyril Vanier. You know, when we barged in on people, you know, either getting evicted or indeed Rick and Cindy living in the tunnel. Even Rick and Cindy, you know, they're living in a tunnel that gets regularly flooded. They've lost their home, they've lost their jobs, and yet they told us, well, things could be worse. We could be, you know, sleeping on a park bench, and we will get back up from here. So part of me thinks it's just the American way. And when we visited the jobs fair, you had people who were just weeks away from, you know, not making their mortgage repayments, not making their rent, not being able to pay their bills. And they just said, well, look, I'm looking for a job, I'll do anything. And if not, I'm going to start my own business. So there is this innate belief that, you know, anything is possible.
Now, the US presidential election isn't very far away. Last time round in 2008, Nevada did vote for Obama. Has this current situation degraded his chances of winning in Nevada?
Well, I have to say, before I travelled over to Nevada for this report, I would have been sure that this would, you know, knock him out of his chances in the swing state. But surprisingly, despite the fact that since Obama took office, you know, you've had historically high unemployment in Nevada, people don't seem to blame him for it. The vast majority said, well, look, the problem was there before he started. Let's give him a longer chance. However, some people did remind me of one comment he made just 2 years ago, urging people not to splurge on the Las Vegas Strip.
OK, very difficult situation indeed in Las Vegas. But as you said, people don't seem to have lost their hope. Good to finish on a hopeful note. Thanks very much, Eve Irvine. And you can see Eve and Cyril's report once again on our website. That's france24.com. Everything available in English, French and Arabic. That's it from us for now. Do stay tuned.